Victor Davis Hanson, one of his bestsellers too, was The Case for Trump.
Yeah.
Good to see you, Victor, on such a developing story here. First off, so Iran, emboldened under Obama, continued under Biden-Harris, and many people are wondering, how did we get here today where the Iranians, as we speak this very moment, are really getting pummeled by the IDF? We'll get to Beirut in just a moment. But your recent article about the so-called experts, their silly group letters here, you know, the bureaucracy and what has led us to where we are, where Iranians have plots to assassinate a former president, and videos like the one we showed posted to the Ayatollah's website 2 years ago. Merrick Garland says they're charging these folks for hacking. It gives them a news conference. It gives them a talking point today.
Yeah, this happens 40 days. This is happening 40 days before the election, and it's gone on for years. And it's a direct result of this administration trying to beg Iran to get back into the Iran deal, lifting all the sanctions, declaring the Houthis no longer a terrorist organization, restoring money to Hamas, and Iran got a sense of empowerment. And they have not said a thing at all. I mean, they mentioned China and Russia and Iran interfering in the election. What he didn't say is that they have been doing that for a long time, and it's consistently two traits of that interference. One, it's all directed against Donald Trump, and it's two, a direct result of the appeasement, whether you look at what happened in Afghanistan that empowered Putin, or Biden's remark that he wouldn't respond if it was a minor invasion. Or you look at the Chinese balloon travesty. If you look at how China dressed down our diplomats in Anchorage. So all of these illiberal regimes have been doing it for a long time, and now he's a day late and dollar short and says, oh my gosh, we've discovered that these illiberal actors are trying to interfere with the election. And they have been, but it's all one way.
And they've also gotten a real strong foothold within our country thanks to wide open borders. You know, a Pakistani man arrested recently, and they said he has ties to Iran and was here to, you know, assassinate a U.S. official. Then we have this video, very disturbing. We're looking at it here. This was posted back in 2022. But when you have someone like Ryan Routh, who actually is at the Florida golf course, looking very similar to what Iranians posted, saying, you know, Qasem Soleimani, the revenge for this, you know, you're putting together the dots. I'm even looking at what's happening right now with Iran. Really, again, this top bunker just within the past hour, we've learned, Victor, was taken out. So Hezbollah is getting crippled. And on the global stage, you know, their flex as a terrorist group is getting maligned. It's getting damaged. You have to wonder what the calculus is for Iran. The next few days, I feel like, will be critical because they want to still look like they are a power player here, and how much Iran has invested into Hezbollah, you know, over decades. All of this, oddly, is coming together at this point just before our election.
Yes. Well, Israel is calling their bluff, and they're saying, you know what, it's unsustainable for nearly 100,000 of our citizens not to be able to live in their own homes. And we have dealt with Hamas, and we have defanged them for the most part. Now we're going to turn our attention to you, and we have capabilities that will terrify you, and there's nobody's going to save you. And Hezbollah is terrified, as is Iran. What was bizarre, though, about the press conferences, when Merrick Garland started for the first time really on the part of this government to attack Hamas, and it was deserved, but it was so belated, and he said that Hamas did this to Americans and they'd done this, then why in the world would you try to pressure Israel to have a ceasefire when they have single-handedly dismantled this terrorist organization that Merrick Garland said is an existential threat to Americans? And remember, right now as we're talking, Kamala Harris just bragged in an interview that she supported the secession of U.S. 2,000 supplied 2,000-pound bombs to Israel. We put an arms embargo on Israel and hampered their ability to deal with Hamas that Garland just told us has been killing and taking hostages of Americans. The same thing applies to Hezbollah. Anthony Blinken is trying to restrain Israel right now to have a ceasefire. So what he's saying is I think it's just packaged for the election, and he's trying to suggest that the DOJ has actually been very vigilant. They have not. For 1 year on your program and other programs, people have been screaming and yelling that people with impunity have been attacking Jews. They've been taking over campuses. They've been yelling, taking over bridges, buildings, defacing government monuments with no consequences whatsoever.